Hi, this is Jason from Horrific Nightmares, and it's time for a positive spin. Now, today we're going to be talking about Home Alone, Taking Back the House, in honor of it being December and Christmas time. Now, my history with this film is non existent. I didn't even know this existed. So, when I found it in a thrift store a while back, I was completely taken by surprise. I knew 1 through 3 existed. I had only seen 1 through 2, or 1 and 2. So 3, 4, 5, and 6, because there are 6 movies in this franchise, I didn't really know what was going on with them. And this one in particular has a really, really low score at a 2 and change on IMDb. And to be honest, I think that is ridiculous and criminally underrated. And I'm going to tell you why. So let's put a positive spin on Home Alone, Taking Back the House, or Home Alone 4. Now, this is a TV movie, and I know what some of you are thinking right now. Oh, it's a TV movie, it's going to have low production value. That's actually not the case. There are 3 TV movies in this franchise. They would be 4, 5, and 6, and I think that they're all done extremely well. This one, particularly, when you find out what the backstory is on this. Now, this, of course, is about Kevin, played originally by Macaulay Culkin. Of course, they went with a new kid in part 3, and now they're back to Kevin. Now, of course, Macaulay Culkin is way too old to be playing Kevin now, being home alone. He's probably graduating high school, so you can't really use him. So that argument of, oh, it's not the original Kevin McAllister, it is. It's just a different kid playing him. And this kid is pretty cool. He definitely fits the bill for me. He might look a little different than, of course, Macaulay Culkin, but that doesn't bother me. Now, this has a really cool story and a very cool Christmas feel, which are both positives in my opinion. All of them take place around Christmas time, so that's a huge positive for me. And this one is no different. Now, you have as the villains the guy from Third Rock from the Sun, who I thought was great in this. And this lady might look familiar. She was actually, I remember her from Two and a Half Men. She played the kid's teacher, Mrs. Pasternak, I think it was. And I like her in comedy. She does really good physical comedy. I didn't know that when I'd seen her in other things. So he actually plays Marv, and from the first 2 movies. And they do mention Harry, even though he's not in it. Now, they asked the original Marv, and I can't remember the guy's name off the top of my head, unfortunately, but he did not want to do it. He thought it was going to end up being garbage, which I completely disagree with. And they did not ask Joe Pesci, who is the Harry character. Um, I don't know why. I have no idea. But he actually plays a really good Marv in this, in my opinion, which is a positive. The the villains are fun in this, really fun, and I like the story. The story takes a little bit different of approach. I was never a big fan of John Hurd and the one who played Macaulay Culkin's parents in the first 2. I just thought they were crappy parents, and I knew that's what they were supposed to show. But even when they kind of tried to redeem themselves at the end, I just didn't buy it. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love the first 2 movies. I just didn't like them. We have new parents this time, and I don't know their names. I didn't know their names offhand, but I think they did an outstanding job. And the guy who plays the father is actually in CSI, I believe, or Law and Order. I can't remember which one, but he's fantastic in this. And this one takes a little bit different of a story, just a little brief synopsis. Now, Kevin's parents are separated, and he meets a rich woman. And this rich woman wants to get to know his kids, and she has a smart house, which is huge and it plays a big part in this film. And I love that about it. Throwing a smart house into the mix when you have the villains and Kevin, um, I just think is brilliant in my opinion. Now, a little bit on the backstory and why, of course, Macaulay Culkin isn't in this film. They did ask, but like I said, he was probably in high school at the time, so it wouldn't have really worked. Now, this was originally supposed to be a pilot or a TV movie that led to a television series. And that's why they have new people and why it wasn't in the theaters. But this one doesn't feel like a TV movie to me. I just think it's the production value is just top notch in this, especially the house. The house acts as a character, and it's awesome. We have a butler who's been in tons of things, and a maid who's been in tons of things. And it's interesting to watch Kevin's dynamic with them as the movie goes along. This movie is a ton of fun. It really is. And I had a blast with it. As I said before, this is the lowest rated Home Alone, with the other ones not being too far behind it, except for the first two. And I really don't understand it. These movies are so darn entertaining. It's just unbelievable to me. Now, of course, we have the booby traps that we had in the original, and the second one, and the third one, and so on and so forth. And I thought that the booby traps were good. All in all, this movie is fantastic, and I don't understand the hate that this movie gets. I really don't. I had a blast with it, and it's going to rank fairly highly if we decide to rank the Home Alone franchise. Hint, hint, it'll be coming up soon in honor of Christmas. So don't forget to check out Joe's positive spin for Home Alone Taking Back the House, also known as Home Alone 4. Remember, guys, physical media matters. And until next time, peace.